Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we have something pretty exciting. It's something different because I'm going to be talking about the Super Mario Bros. Movie that I literally just barely saw 10-20 minutes ago or something. Like I just barely got home and I came to sit down just to record this video just because I wanted to talk about it. This will be spoiler free. I haven't had time to really uh, like think about it too much. I'm not going to be analyzing it at all. I'm just sort of telling you my general feelings, and I don't really like to be a critic anyway. Normally I just like to talk about how I felt about something. If I didn't like something, I usually won't even bring it up because it doesn't matter. But yeah, so I'm just going to make this video to talk about my feelings on Super Mario Bros. Movie, and right off the bat I'll say I just had such a great time watching it. It's so fun. But so if you want absolutely know nothing about it, which I'm not going to spoil anything in this video, really, that's how I feel about the movie. It's really fun. But if I don't know if I guess if you're weird and you feel like you want to go into something completely blind, then stop here or whatever. But this is going to be pretty much spoiler free. um I don't even know where to start. I guess I should say I went into this movie pretty blind. I tried to avoid some of the couple more recent trailers just because I don't know. That's just how I am with things. But first off, visually, like I think everyone can agree it's fantastic. People, like, you've seen it in all the trailers. When you look at the film, it just looks great. And I know you guys, if you've seen the trailers, you probably already know this and you're thinking, yeah, everyone's been talking about this. But just seeing the movie, and I think it's especially in theaters, it just blew me away with how great it is. Like the best animation I've seen probably ever. Or like that's a big statement, but that's how I'm feeling right now. Maybe not my favorite animation. I mean, obviously I like anime. Generally I like 2D animation just cuz I'm a bit of an artist. I like to draw, and I mean, obviously, when you draw something, it's two-dimensional, but I generally like two-dimensional things, but in terms of art. But where was I going with this? I don't know. It just looks great. It's a bit like hyper realistic at some points, which I think can actually be a critique for some people. But I think the fact that the movie is set in the Mario Bros. Universe and not the real world, I think it makes it okay. Because if it was just like really realistic graphics in just sort of our world, and it would sort of make the movie a bit like lacking in terms of our like in visuals, because it's just like, what's the point of making animation if it's just in the real world and it's super realistic? But the fact that it's in the Mario Bros. Universe and everything, it just looks great. There's just so many vibrant colors that just really stand out to you, and it's great to watch. Next, I just want to say, the voices, because that's obviously something that was just crazy when it was revealed, having Chris Pratt and Jack Black, obviously those being the two. There's other famous people, but in terms of voices, I think every single person killed it. Like, obviously the main people, like, I think everyone knew Jack Black was going to do a great job. Like, I feel like that just fits. There were some other people people were worried about. I think I was pretty okay with it, especially after seeing like the first trailer. It's like, okay, I'm kind of used to it. Having Chris Pratt as Mario, it's not actually that crazy. But then during the movie, I don't know, everyone's voice performances actually like were a step above of what I was expecting, and even minor characters that aren't voiced by these big names still were like really good, and I was really impressed with it just in terms of delivery for, I mean, a lot of the uh comical moments. I guess this movie is, it's not something you're gonna go into expecting really emotional deliveries, obviously. But so yeah, everyone did a great job in terms of the voices. Like, if you're thinking, oh wow, Chris Pratt is Mario, how's that gonna go? I'm like, you don't have anything to worry about. It's great. Okay, and those are just two minor things, but getting to the film itself, it's just such a fun ride all the way through. It's like, what, 1 hour 40 minutes, like maybe closer to 2 hours. I don't think so. It felt quick, because and that's not a bad thing. It had a really good pace to it, and it was just going from one great moment to the next, and it was just it's just fun. In terms of like maybe humor, you could say, maybe a bit lacking, but I feel like there were still obviously moments where I was laughing. I think it's also good that I went with a group of people. I think this is a movie, I will say, enjoyed best in a theater with a group of people, because you'll just have fun. If you watch this just on your own on your TV, like it's gonna be a completely different experience. But it's just fast paced fun. There is good humor. I know I said it was lacking, but like it's just that when I'm gonna look back on this movie, I'm not gonna be like, that's a funny movie. I'm gonna think that's a fun movie, and I think that's a good distinction to make. Obviously, funny moments in between, but I mean, it's Illumination, and I think it makes sense if you were worried about that. But so I had to stop recording for just a bit, but I'm back, and last I was talking about Illumination. People were obviously worried because Illumination, they just make, I think most people agree, Despicable Me, the very first one, that's a good movie, solid movie. Everything else, it's a real mess. It's a real train wreck. But I feel like most people, they probably could tell that Nintendo probably had a pretty big part in holding Illumination back from getting into their usual shenanigans, you could say. But, I don't know. It didn't feel like an Illumination film, and that's definitely a good thing. I don't remember exactly what I was talking about before. I know I was talking about Illumination, but it's just such a fun film. Again, like I think especially in terms of the humor, nothing like Illumination. That's something I think people should be like. I know I said the humor was weak earlier, but it's just that maybe not necessarily that the humor is weak, but it's not what I was like. It wasn't the highlight of the movie. It was still good and solid. But yeah, it's a fun movie, and especially if you're a Nintendo fan, I think everyone was expecting references and just like little Easter eggs everywhere, and they had plenty of those, so that's great. And so and I don't know. I feel like sometimes people could say that it just feels like it's a bunch of fan service, but in this case, I was sort of okay with that, especially because even aside from the fan service, I still think I genuinely would have enjoyed it. But yeah. I'm trying to think what else to talk about. Because I mean, I don't think I have necessarily anything to spoil anyway. I was gonna say, maybe if I could get into spoil, but I don't know. I don't think there's anything I need to talk about the plot in general, because it's mostly just a fun movie where you just go from one event to the next, and it's all just go 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 go, and you're just having fun the whole time. But yeah. I guess I don't have anything else to say. I came back to recording expecting to record for a bit, but yeah, without getting into spoilers, yeah, just great movie. I think anyone who is a fan of Nintendo and Mario should definitely give it a watch, because I think they'll love it. It's like I was smiling the whole time. And yeah, I mean, I think that's all I have to say. So please, if you were unsure about the Mario movie before this, go check it out. It's a great movie. But anyways, remember to save the blobfish, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.